This is how I set up an e-commerce website using Jekyll. I've used Jekyll a lot for regular blog type websites and simple websites, but I wanted to try to use Jekyll for an e-commerce website where I could sell some products. This is the website I built. It's a very simple website selling lip balm. I am using the post functionality, the blog post functionality to show the products. That way I can easily add a new product and the new product will show up in the top. There are buttons you can buy directly from here, and you can add products, and you can take products out. If I want to take that out of the shopping cart, I can go to the next step and I can fill all the stuff out and shipping and payment. And it works very well and it's very seamless. It's powered by SnipCart. I'll get into that in a second. So the products themselves or the posts themselves are very simple. They have the title, they have a price, they have a shopping cart, and they have an image, a main image of the product. And they also have a comment section set up through Discuss, which is also a free type of a thing. So that's very simple. So the website itself is very simple, very basic. It works very well. It's pretty fast and it's fairly responsive. And it's all just basically a basic Jekyll site here. This is an atom, and anyone who's used Jekyll at all will understand this whole thing here. The unique thing that I am doing, not unique, but how I'm managing all of this is I have a data file and a YAML file inside the data file called products. And this is where I put all of the lip balm information for each flavor. So each flavor has a record, this one being cheesecake here at the bottom. And then each record has the same thing, a title, an image, a link to an image, an ID, a unique ID number, a date, a description, which can also have HTML code in there to highlight stuff if you want to make it, like I wanted this one to be an H3 tag. And then your excerpt, and then a flavor, and then a quantity. At the very top of this file, I also have a very basic record called lip balm, because all the lip balms have the same price, they all have the same weight, they're using the same ingredients, and they have the same size. So instead of repeating all this information in each one, I just have it up here in one record. So if you need to add in, if you need to edit anything in here, an image, a name, change the description, change the quantity, this is where you change it. It'll reflect on the front end. And if you need to create a new product, you can actually take one whole record, copy it, paste it, change out the information, and you have it here. Now, how it connects to a product is through a post. You create a regular post in Jekyll, and you use your front matter here. And I'm using a layout of product, which I created. And then, of course, your title and the description. This is your SEO description here. And a date. And then the record I have in here, it says record cheesecake. That reflects back to here, to this record here. And then I have a permalink because it's coming, this whole website's coming from a WordPress website. So I wanted to try to keep the links similar so it wouldn't mess up my SEO and stuff. And then on this one, I have a redirect from a previous product to this product here. And then the only thing I really put in any of these, I can put extra information in here if I want, but this is just the image, the main image on the bottom. When you look at the product itself, this image here is coming from the data file. This image is coming from the post itself. So we have our YAML data file. We have a regular post set up, and then we have the layout. This is the only part that I found tricky. In order to pull this information for this particular post, I want to be able to use the data from this record. And the way to do that is for the image for this product, I have to say, put the code in here has to say, on my site, go to the data folder, go to my products file, and then pull the page record, which would be whatever is here, and then display the image. And the same thing for the alt tag, I do the title. So it's page record title. Now the thing that got me was I understood to put the square brackets in here and then say you use the page record. What really messed me up was I thought you should put a period in here. So it would be site.data.products.page record, because I thought that sounded normal to me, but it won't work if you put the dot there. You have to not have the dot there, which to me sounds a little weird because it looks like it won't work, because it looks like it'll just stick the word cheesecake there. So it'll be product cheesecakes, but it doesn't. It works, and it pulls in the image. And then I do the same thing for, page title is standard. I do the same thing for price. Now the price, I don't have to use the page record, because the price I can select it directly from the site, from the data folder, from the products file. The record is always going to be lip balm, so I can just put that in directly into this template, and then price, because this is the same on all of them. So this is the way it would be directly selected from that YAML file. And then down here is the button. And where I got the button was from a company called SnipCart. It's a cool little service. Their pricing structure is not too bad. They take 2% of your transaction, and then they take a flat $10 a month fee for their basic plan. So it costs $10 a month just to have this. When you're doing a setup, there's a setup system that's free. As long as you're not live, it's free, and you can check out all the functionality of it. And then once you go live, you have to finally sign up and start paying. But the development section of it is free. Now, where I got that button code from is you put a couple of links in your header to connect to their JavaScript files, and then you can go in here and you can copy and paste their button code. And of course, you can add all kinds of things to it. I have a very simple one, so I don't have to deal with length or weight or height or max quantity or minimum quantity or any of this stuff. So it can get pretty complicated or detailed if you want it to. And their white paper, their instructions here are very good. And I had very little trouble with setting this up. So that's where I got the code for the button, and that's how the button works. And I'm pulling the same information from the site, from the data, from the products, and from the record. That's how that works. And of course, I'm pushing this all up to my repository in GitHub. That's not where I'm hosting the site. Where I'm hosting the site is at Cloud Cannon. There are two reasons why I'm using Cloud Cannon. The first reason is I want to be able to use a contact form. GitHub doesn't support contact forms natively, so you have to use some sort of outside service. Now, I've already got websites up here, so it was just a matter of it being easy for me to put it up here. This hosting account can hold many websites, and I have clients who are basically paying for this. It covers the cost of this every month. Normally, it would be $25 a month for the hosting here that would give me the functionality of the contact form. This does have a built-in CMS. If you want to go in here, you can go in here and do things and edit your YAML file and stuff like that. I don't use it for that. I just basically use it for the ability to have the contact form. This also allows you to control things like your DNS, and it gives you an SSL certificate. So it has a bunch of other functionality besides the contact form. But I can go in here to forms, and I can see all the contact forms that have been sent to me. Now, there are other options besides Cloud Cannon. You can go to Netlify. Netlify has a free version. It works very well. And they offer a lot of things in the free version that most people will use. It's fairly simple. And of course, they have fancier other plans for how much money you want to spend per month. But they do have forms. Now, they have forms right out of the box that are free as long as you get less than 100 submissions per month and a certain, load size. If you're not having them upload images and everything, probably shouldn't. This probably wouldn't limit you, but you may end up with more than 100 submissions. If so, it'll bump you up to the next plan, which is $19 a month, which is kind of in the same areas here. So when I was looking at it, I already have stuff on the Cloud Cannon. So for me, it was just easy to stick another website in here rather than switch to another platform. But if I was going to start from scratch, if I was going to do it over again, I would probably use Netlify, because right out of the box, it would be free for everything I need. And then if things start growing and if I start getting more submissions, then it'll start costing me money. But initially, it'll still cost me less money than Cloud Cannon. And in addition to the SnipCart account you have to have, which costs $10 a month plus a percentage of whatever you sell, you have to connect your SnipCart to a payment gateway. I'm using Stripe. It was very easy to set up. It doesn't really cost you anything. If I don't make any sales, if I do make a sale, it's 30 cents plus 2.9%. All of them, I looked into all of them, Authorized Net and PayPal, and I just went with Stripe because I felt like it. I don't really have any reasoning behind it other than the fact that I wanted to try it out. And it was very easy to use. It was very easy to connect the Stripe account with my SnipCart account. So that's why I'm using Stripe. So the combination of Stripe, the gateway, payment gateway, SnipCart is a shopping cart, and it works all very well together. So to recap, I have a little e-commerce website. I'm using Jekyll to build it. In Jekyll, I'm controlling the products with a YAML file, a very basic YAML file. I'm using the post functionality within Jekyll to create product pages with a little bit of extra work on the product page layout to pull the information from the YAML file, the data file. I am putting that up into GitHub where I keep it, and I'm linking GitHub directly to my Cloud Cannon. One of the reasons I did that is if it's all sitting here, I can easily move it from Cloud Cannon. If I want to later on move it over to Netlify, I can just point it and then move the domain, and everything will just work. Plus, it's a place to keep it safe. It's local, and I have it up there. If anything happens to my machine, it's all sitting up there, and everything's good to go. Then I put my SnipCart information in to get the shopping cart working, and I set it up through my gateway through Stripe. So that's how I built a very simple, very basic e-commerce website using Jekyll. Now this costs me right now a total of $10 a month, with a caveat that this Cloud Cannon account is already being covered by something else. So technically I could put it on Netlify and it would be free. The hosting of it and the forms would be free. So that's why I'm saying it's only costing me $10 a month. Unless, of course, I sell something, but then the cost of that comes out of the sale. This is the first one I did, so some of the stuff may be kind of clunky or may even be wrong, but it works for me. But let me know what you find. I hope it helped. And if you have any tips for me, I'd love to hear it. Like I said, this is my first e-commerce site I built from Jekyll. I hope you enjoyed the tour. And this lip balm is really good, by the way. So what I'm saying is links in the description below. You gotta get some of the stuff. And oh, look, if you buy 4, you get 1 free. Ooh-wee, what a deal.